Alrighty folks, so I apologize for the noise in the background there, so sorry for headphone users there, or earbud users there, I apologize. But I wanted to work on my Chevelle a little bit today, got a little inspired to kind of work on it. And oh man, I got so many hours in this thing. I've done spent probably 3 hours in this thing so far trying to clean it up. I know the video's dark, but I've been trying to get this thing down to bare metal. I don't care if it's dark or not. But sometimes you just got to get out there and do this stuff, you know. But this is the fender I got from, I can't remember where it's from. It's from Illinois or something. I can't remember, but it's not as bad as what I thought. It's definitely usable. But we got some issues going on. You can see where somebody took a slide hammer and they drilled a bunch of holes in it. And, you know, unfortunately they tried to pull all this back out. But luckily it didn't get in here too awful bad. But they put lead. You can tell where they used lead back in the day to fill that in. So you can tell that's the lead, because if you look at it, it's nothing but lead right there. So I'm not disturbing that, I'm leaving that alone. But that goes to show, you know, that's why I like using lead. I've never personally used it yet. That's why I like lead as a body filler. You know, it's been there for years and years, and you know, you can file it and shape it however you need to, but it's a lot better than that old junk Bondo. You know, this stuff just junk. But so this is what I'm working on here. So I'm trying to get this thing done here. Just about got I'm gonna weld all this in. Just about got this whole thing down bare metal. I got a little bit of rust repair I got to do down in here. Nothing too terrible, but it's got a little rot, but it's nothing terrible. It's fixable. I'm not going to even waste the time. I mean, not the time, but the money, or the time I should say, to buy a patch panel. I'm gonna cut it out as small as that is. It's no bigger than my hand there, so we'll just cut it out and make that. I think it's kind of pointless buying the patch panel for that little bit of rust. Now in here I'm gonna have to figure something out. I'm not sure, because it's pretty good crease right there, so I really don't want to be cutting on my fender. So we'll take this center fender off and I'll probably fix that. So I think this must have had a molding at one time, because it's got a couple screws still in it. I'm gonna take a screwdriver and get that one out of there, or either cut off with one of the two. We'll back that out of there. Got a bunch of holes in here, and I don't plan on making mine a super sport, so I think I'm gonna weld a bunch of these holes up. But we got a bunch of holes. I know that can't be original. There's a hole right there too. There's two more. That's definitely not original, but there's another couple. So I don't know what in the world was going on. See, we just got holes all over this thing. I know some of them are actually for the molding. I know that, but I'm not too awful worried about that. But the inside of the fender, I am going to undercoat there. But there's the original factory color, black right there. It's pretty amazing. So, but we're going to clean this fender up, and we're going to save it. So this is a good original fender. I say good, but it's savable. You know, it's not like our Plymouth here where it was cut in half. So I've been spending, you know, pile time on this thing. I don't know what time it is, but I probably got about 2 hours in it here, maybe a little bit longer, you know, just on cleaning this one side up. But they had literally undercoat the living heck out of this thing, and that's just ridiculous. So I don't know why they did that, but I mean, I still got to get all that trash out of here. But the whole inner fender, if you look back in my videos, I mean everything, even all through here, every bit of this thing was just caked in undercoating. They just went crazy on it. So You know, in one way, it actually, I mean, it sucks because you got to clean all that off. But see, I still got to finish cleaning that off. But, you know, it's no reason to have undercoating on this side of the inner fender. You know, I could see putting a little bit right in here because of the battery tray area. But I can't really see going anywhere else. But I had to go through here, and I mean, it takes forever to knock that stuff off. And look at that, look at that. It's just ridiculous. So, but it saved the center fender, so I'm not complaining about it. It saved it, because if they wouldn't undercoat it, I think this stuff would have way more rust than what it does. So it's not too bad. Might have to make a little bit of the brace back here, but I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, and don't worry, I'm not, like I said, I'm not buying the patch panel, but you know, we're gonna cut Chevrolet sheet metal, put Chevrolet sheet metal back in. In this case, and I'm not gonna be taking Chevrolet sheet metal and putting it in a Plymouth there, but I don't know, but yeah, that's the plan. I am gonna shave the antenna off. We're shaving that off. I'm not gonna run that. I know, what's up with me and not liking antennas on the fenders? Well, that's me. I just don't like them. I don't like the way they look. So it's got to be a certain car. I like it on certain cars, but I just don't like it on the Chevelle. It just don't look right. Now, I am going to run, again, I am going to run the antenna on it. It's just not going to be on the fender. We're going to move it back to the quarter panel. I just like it. This looks a lot better. And I want dual antennas on my Biscayne, the Etzel, and when we get the 57 Plymouth done, they'll be on the quarter panels as well. And the Chevelle, I plan on putting it on the back of the quarter panel, but I'm probably not going to put dual antennas on it. I just don't really see the point of that. But I just don't like it on the fender. That's just not my preference. It just looks tacky, in my opinion. You know, if it's in the right thing, you know, the right kind of car, it looks fine. But to me, it looks tacky. So, but yeah, just to give you an idea. I mean, I can kind of see a little better now. But yeah, they just undercoat the heck out of this thing. It's even down here too. So, we're trying to clean this stuff off. So, yeah, it's just a wire head right there. If you look back at my old videos, I was actually used that to tie up one of my gas jugs. I'm gonna take it out of there. So, I think, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that hole that wire is actually through, that'll actually come off. I need to. That's alright. I'll cut it off. But it's actually for the heater hose clamp. It's supposed to be a little clamp right here for the two heater hoses, so we'll save that. But it's going to be a lot of cleaning up on this thing, but we're getting there. So I don't know why it's brazed right here. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure. But it's actually brazed. There we go. I'm not sure why. That's probably factory, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that. When we clean up the inside of the wheel well there, we'll figure out what's going on. It's that ground strip there too. So. But I just wanted to make this video here. I know I still got to get all up in here. I mean, they got undercoat all up in here in the channel and just completely just trashed this fender. But I will say though, it saved it. So now I will undercoat it, but we're going to do it the right way, and I'm going to undercoat, you know, all up inside the wheel well on that side, only on that side. And then we might maybe put a little bit right in here, maybe just a little bit, you know, to where the battery tray and the battery will hide it, and maybe shoot just a little bit up in here. But that's it folks. You know, I don't want that stuff all over my fender. It looks trashy looking. So alrighty, just wanted to make a little video here, so we'll keep cleaning this thing up here until I'm wore out, that's for sure. So there's a little slide note too. We had another little buddy slithering through there earlier, so I had to figure out how to get him out of there. But yep, Another little buddy in there. I don't hear him. But that's 2 of them now. There's a gardener snake, if you're wondering. At least that's what it looked like. A pin down in there I lost. Alright. One way I'm ready for fall time, but I'm not because I hate winter. It's just too cold. Especially when you live off grid. But at least these little pests here will be gone, I hope. So, yep. I know, I got too many irons in the fire. I know, I'm working on my Chevelle and working on the Biscayne here and working on a little bit of everything, but I'm not worried about it. It makes it more fun. So, yeah, I went ahead and pulled that side off. We're going to pull this side off. We're not even going to use that fender or that inner fender, even though they're brand new. I'm going to take them off and we're going to get all the clips and everything off of it, because I bought all new hardware for this, and figure out what we're missing and what we have. And we're going to take this firewall and I'm going to start cleaning it up. And you know, it's time to get this stuff on the road. You know, I keep saying that over and over and over again. I want all of them on the road. I want every one of these on the road. I want that truck, you know, my 89, my Chevelle, Biscayne. I want every one of these on the road. That's the whole goal. But I'm not making videos just to look crazy on here. It's just I like to do things certain ways, and I don't believe in, you know, halfway doing stuff. You know, I want the stuff done, and I want it done right and properly. And I'm very particular about how I like things done. But that's why I'm trying to clean the front clip up, figure out what's what hardware wise, and undercoat the inner fenders, and then we'll probably call it good. But I got a good original, I got the other inner fender and a good original driver's side fender too. I mean, it's got a little rot in the bottom, but I'd much rather deal with that than deal with this kind of trash. And it just looks ridiculous. You know, it's tacky, it's trashy looking. So, you know, we're going to take that off, and we're going to fix this thing, because I'm getting tired of it. See, it lines up fairly decent at the rocker, what's left of the rocker panel, and I do have that piece too. It lines up pretty flush right here, but that's in the stamping. That's what that is. That is in the stamping. The only way really to correct that is to line the fender up as good as you can get it, and then probably just splice the whole thing, and then pull it back and weld it till it lines up, and then, you know, it'd be about the only way I can think of fixing it. But I'm going to take the driver's side fender and sit on top of this fender, and I'm going to see, out of curiosity, that's got to be in the stamping. That's the only thing I can figure, because that thing is adjusted, you know, fairly close. So we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna take the cowl and the passenger side fender and the inner fenders, I should say, all came off a '66 wagon, I think it was. No, it might have been a 4-door hardtop. Maybe it was a wagon. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long since I got them. And what I like about it is it's good original GM sheet metal. And look, this fender's been sitting on here so long, it's starting to surface rust now. Now, this was a brand new fender. So that's why we got to get on this stuff. We got to get this stuff done. It's just enough farting around. I've been, you know, I'll admit I've been farting around too much, and it's just time to get this stuff done. So that's why I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to get all this wiring and all that junk off here. And we're going to, you know, we'll get rid of all that, eliminate all that. I got a brand new wire harness for this car. I got a pile of parts for this car. And the wire harness I got, you know, we're not going to run any of the original, well, let me rephrase that. We're not going to run the original fuse panel, I should say, because I'm going to, you know, do away with the glass fuses. I just want to get rid of them, eliminate all that. And I kind of want to make this car kind of a resto mod. That's what I've always wanted to make it, is, you know, have a modern blade type fuses that go in the fuse panel there. And you know, obviously we got dual master cylinder. And you know, I thought about putting disc brakes on it, but it's not worth it. Not in my opinion. Not on this car, it's not. But I got a 94 350 TBI that's set up for factory roller cam. It'll have the factory roller cam. And I'm considering going with a either, I'm kind of on a, I don't know, on the fence there, I guess you would say. I guess that's the right thing to right view, I should say, there, or saying, whatever you want to say. But I'm kind of trying to figure out if I want to put a T5 in this car, like from an 80s or 90s Camaro to get the overdrive, or if I want to put a Muncie 4-speed in it. Because if I'm going to go through all this effort, you know, to get the factory roller cam and all that, kind of learning from doing the Vortec thing on the 350 in my truck, then you know, I want to make this the best out of the best. You know, roller cam, and you know, upgrade it, fuse panel, and you know, just upgrade a few things on here and there. And now I definitely don't want power steering. This car I want to keep a bare bones car. This car in my 59 Biscayne, I want to remain bare bones. I do not want power steering or power brakes or anything like that, because I like it the way it is. But I want a few upgrades, you know, like with the roller cam and things like that. But I don't, you know, want to sit there and, you know, kind of kill the value of the car. And I'm not talking money, I'm just talking about originality, even though it won't be original. But that's kind of my plan with it. So I can't decide if I'm going to run a Muncie 4-speed like an M21, or if I'm going to run a T5. So I know a couple people are going to be like, just keep the Saginaw 4-speed. I know, I ain't got nothing against them. It's just, you know, it's a Chevelle. I want to make the best out of the best, you know. Now, I know I can't do that realistically on all my vehicles, you know, I just can't afford it. But if I'm going to go through all this effort, which is the reason why I've been working on my C10 there, then I want to make this the best out of the best. So there's nothing wrong with a Saginaw 4-speed. I like it. But really, you know, it's kind of a tie right now. I don't know if I'm going to go with the Muncie 4-speed or if I'm going to go with a T5. I'm really kind of considering a T5 because, you know, like I said, you know, we'll have the roller cam and, you know, keep it period correct, but I also like to have the overdrive too. So, you know, like just upgrades like that just make it much better, makes it more nicer to drive. And I know a lot of people wonder, well, at least put power steering on if you're going to do all that. I don't want power steering. That's the whole point, is I want this to be a kind of a bare bones car here. And I don't want to, you know, I don't mind upgrading a few things, but I don't want to go too crazy on it because I like the engine bay clean looking. And maybe later on in the future when I get, you know, 80, 90 years old and, you know, my arms are wore out and, you know, I can't, you know, turn the steering wheel anymore, then I'll put power steering on them. But right now, I don't want power steering. And that's the whole point too, is to get the car on the road. And, you know, because if you go put power steering on there, then that's more downtime, that's more money I ain't got. When just run what you got, you know. That's the way I look at it. So, but I'm gonna try to work on this front clip here, and I'll probably take and drag my welder around here and figure out what's what with this, and figure out exactly where I left off. And we gotta get this thing welded in. It's just time to get it done. I'm tired of looking at it, and you know, I want to get this car done. It's time to get it done. So now, I'm not worried about painting the car or anything like that. I'm not worried about that. I just want to get the car straightened out, you know, to make it look right. But the whole car, regardless, I will take down the bare metal, everything, and get it in primer, and then I'll probably just leave it for now. But that's what I wanted to do there. This car used to be a mountain green there, That's what this car was. But that's not the, I don't think that's the factory color. Because somebody painted this car at one time. And it might be. I don't know if it's overspray or not. It might be the factory color. I think it's overspray. Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, there's a run right there. Yeah, there it is. There's the factory color. Right there. It's hard to see. Mr. Spider. But yeah, there's the factory color. Yep. That's the factory color. It's factory mountain green. Alright, buddy. Thanks for guarding my Chevelle here. I appreciate it. Alright, so I'm going to quit being silly here, and I think we'll end the video. But I know it's dark, but I just wanted to make the video and piddle around with this front clip. I know, what's up with me and front clips? I know, we took the front clip off that, taking it off this. I know. But this, we're about ready to take the front clip and put it back on for now. I was wanting to paint it, but, you know, I am going to paint it. But I think, you know, winter's starting to come. Winter's around the corner, and I think we're going to take the front clip and just sit it back on here for now. And just get an idea how everything's going to look. And mock it up, and then we'll probably just go from there. And then I want to get the front clip back on this car anyway, because I got a good original radiator. Well, it's supposed to be good. And I'd like to take in, you know, be able to run this 305 here. You know, I can be able to actually run it, and figure out something about the drive shaft, get the brakes done on this car, and then we can fix our suspension and be able to at least move this car around. That's the goal. Because the motor and the transmission are done, you know, as far as, you know, throwing something in it to make it move and run. But we'll have to, got to do brakes and do the front suspension on it. We're missing parts. And then we can be able to move it around. That'll make it a lot easier to work on. So, and then, like I said, the real motor is going to be the 454. So, all right, I'm going to quit blabbing. And I'll see y'all in the next one here. So, see y'all later. Bye.